Up, everybody? I'm David Yakir,
And I'm Susan Keller-Horn.
and you're listening and hopefully watching Yak About Film, the podcast from the Vero Beach Film Festival, and we never say that.
No, we don't.
By the way, hold my arm down.
I'm holding your arm down. And look, and I'm checking out your legs too, just so you know.
No,
they're nice.
I've been told. Anyway, where we wanted to start today is we've got, I think it's 2 weeks to go.
2 weeks to go.
The passes are on sale. A lot of people really don't know how the passes work and how we have the events on top of the passes that can be purchased. So I thought maybe we take turns.
Okay.
And we'll talk about the 3 different types of passes. Right. And then we should go through our events. I think that would be a good idea.
Well, actually, I think we need to talk about how they get their passes as well. So because they buy them online, but they need to actually get their lanyards with their badge and the whole thing. So let's talk about the types of passes and then tell them after they've purchased online how they...
We've got our pick 4, and this is generally for people who want to sort of try out the film festival, maybe look at our program guide online at vbfilmfest.org and say, hey, this film looks interesting. You know, I watched the trailer. I think I'd like to see this. And they can go to 4 films, and we even have seminars that people who purchase the pick 4 can go to. The second pass is the cinema pass. And by the way, this is the pass that most people actually buy. And that is, we have 4 days of films. They're yours. Any film you want to see, anything you
seminar.
want. And seminars, you can go to anything you want.
And we start at 10 in the morning and we go until about, some nights 10:30.
Right.
And then we have
5 venues.
Right. In 5 venues. Then we have an after party. So that can go into the evening as well.
Right.
So there's a lot that can happen with just the cinema pass.
The big one, of course, is the one we always think everybody should get. And that's the total experience at the festival.
Yes.
And people don't know that we actually surround, even though the films are the most important part of what we do, that people don't understand, we surround it with the festivities that make it fun also, when you're not in the fun.
I mean, it's so fun to go and see 2, 3, even 4 films in a day, but it's hard to do that without doing something else in between.
Right. So that a premiere pass, it's called, covers everything we do. And we have events, and a lot of people don't know how we orchestrate those events.
Right.
A lot of them around filmmakers. Mm-hmm. We have our opening filmmaker welcome gala.
Right. That's at the Subaru dealership at their new, beautiful showroom that they're clearing out all the cars, and you won't believe how incredible this space is.
And last year was the first year we actually put that together. We did it at the museum.
Yes.
And what we found is all the filmmakers came in and our audience came in, and there was incredible interaction between our audience has a tendency to really love the arts. It's a very artistic town.
Yes.
And the idea that they can talk and exchange ideas with the filmmakers seems to be sort of really important to our audience.
And then we have the Friday night grand wine tasting by Engel and Volkers, and all the wines are brought in from the distributors of Varietals and More. Right. And on Saturday,
this is the grand wine tasting. We should expand on that one.
Well, you know what? We've talked about it in our podcast before, but right. I mean, we do need to get to our guest. Yeah. It's just something we kind of have to do.
We do. We do. So
and we have a great guest for you today. So,
Darshan Patel.
Yes.
Right, and we're going to talk about his film, the Housefly.
Housefly,
which we loved. That was really interesting.
It's intense. It's a really incredible film. But let's finish up with what our parties are and how people get their passes. So on Saturday night, we have a dance party. It's at the Heritage Center. It's a lot of fun. This year it's through the decades. So it's going to be different music from different decades through different parts of the event. And then Sunday we have our rap party and we give out our Audience Choice Awards. And the whole time it's a lot of fun. There's lots of things happening. The filmmakers love meeting you. But in order to get to us, you need to buy passes. And the passes are on sale. They're on vbfilmfest.org. There's a button to click to go right straight to the passes. There's other buttons to go to the schedule, and you buy your passes there. However, you do need to pick up your badge. So that will be available at the Theater Guild for the first time. That's our new box office. And I believe starting April 1st,
April 1st.
April 1st, you will be able to go to the Theater Guild and pick up badges. And you'll have your lanyard, you have your little welcome packet, you'll get your program telling you everything that's happening. So that is where you will be getting them, and all that information
And
will
you
be
also can
online.
purchase tickets and passes.
Yes, well, you have to
They-
purchase oh, yes, you can purchase them there. If you do not want to do it online, you can purchase them there. Currently, think we have the time set from 9 till 2, starting April 1st on weekdays. Years to man that booth. So we're working on all of that. But starting April 1st, you can pick up your badges.
And now,
Let's bring Darshan Patel into our conversation.
hey, Darshan,
Hi,
how are you?
Darshan.
Hey guys, how are you? I'm doing good.
So
Thanks for having me.
we're thrilled to have you. We're really excited. Your film, The Housefly, is in our section called Vero Visions, and Vero Visions is where we celebrate our local filmmakers. So, but tell us a little bit about The Housefly.
So this is a film that I made last year in LA with a producer that's based out of Vero Beach as well, Alex Smoot. And it's a tiny little like experimental horror film that I came up with when I was cooking dinner, and I heard a fly, and I thought I killed it. And I kept hearing it, and I thought I was going insane, and I thought it'd be very good, maybe like a little short film to make. And I pitched the idea to a couple of people, wrote it, and then we got to make it in LA last year.
Oh, I love how you came up with the concept. I didn't know that. I think it's amazing. Um, so that was your inspiration for the film. How did the filming go?
So this was a very like intense shoot. We only had one day on location to shoot, and normally like you wouldn't shoot this many scenes in a day. We shot around 66 scenes. We had an amazing actor. His name was Brandon Brown, and honestly, because of him, we got through filmmaking like much quicker. He was on point for every scene, and our crew was amazing. And we had pretty much 12-hour workday, I think, that day with one break.
Wow.
But thankfully, everyone was on point, and we got it done.
Did you grow up in Vero?
Yes, I grew up in Vero. I went to elementary school, middle school, high school, everything, yeah. And then I went to USF for college.
Oh, that's amazing.
USF, they have a good film program, don't they?
Yeah.
UCF has a good one. My little brother goes there right now. But USF, I did advertising there and just did film on the side. And mainly I learned how to become a filmmaker when I moved to New York.
Oh, wow. So that's where you live currently, in New York?
Yes, I live in New York, yeah.
Where in
Brooklyn.
the city do you live?
Brooklyn, yeah.
I'm from Brooklyn, by the way.
Oh,
I was
nice.
born there.
I'm in Bushwick right now.
Oh, nice. Up and coming area.
So
Very, very artsy here.
Yeah.
Lots of artists and filmmakers and musicians.
Well, Brooklyn's the center of the art world right now, as a matter of fact. Everybody lives in Brooklyn.
Well, that's really cool. But let's talk to Darshan more about his film. I know you love your Brooklyn. So
what can I say? Love the film too.
So tell us a little bit more, because it's a really awesome horror flick. It's as I said earlier, it's a bit intense. So tell us a little bit more about that.
So, I mean, I think I got a lot of inspiration from modern horror directors, I think, around this era. Have you guys heard of Ari Aster and Yorgos Lanthimos?
I've heard of them,
So
yes.
a lot
I'm
of
not
their
real
horrors are very
familiar, but yes, I've heard
experimental
of
and
them.
kind of not the typical horror film that you would get. And I wanted to take a very slow rising tension to this film. So a lot of the beginning of this film was very slowly like implemented. And then as you see it towards the end, like the last 30, 40 seconds is very rising tension, and then it just ends. But honestly, I think this was just a fun little film that we want to make. And I'm glad we got to make it. And it became something a lot more than I even expected. We got into 3 festivals prior to this around the country, which was fun.
Now, it does have a mental health element to it. How do you feel that it relates to
I
mental
think
health?
it has a very like a psychological horror aspect to it, of course, and it we play on the term where it's like on is it actually happening to him or is it just all in his mind, right? And that's where I wanted to show the audience where like it could be both aspects. It could him slowly going crazy after like whatever is happening in the film, or it could just actually be happening. And honestly, I don't really have an explanation to that part where it's kind of up to the audience's interpretation.
Was he mad or not? Was there a reality or
Or
was he mad?
it's true. It's true. So, what's your next project? What's your
I
next film that you
honestly
plan to do?
don't want to make more horror films. I'm more into mumblecore, which is a very it's a movement that started in the late 2010s, early 2010s kind of, and it's a lot of heavy dialogue and focuses on relations. So right now I'm writing a feature film about a group of friends, and it focuses more on personal relations and then their daily lives in Brooklyn, actually. So I'm doing that, and I took a scene from that film and I'm making a short film out of that. And it's called, well, we might change the name, but it's called Scenes from a Taxi. And it's about just a conversation between two people in a taxi and what the taxi driver overhears.
So now, is filmmaking paying your way, or do you need to do something? Because a lot of our filmmakers, I know, when they're dealing with shorts, they're trying to make it. So what are you doing
I think I
besides
got extremely
filming,
lucky where I
making
found a
films,
group
and
of people, like almost a film collective, where everyone wants to help each other make movies. And I got put into that very early, like especially when I made this film, it was a bunch of like favors and help from a lot of people. But right now, I work as a media trafficking producer for a company in New York, so that's my daily work. And I do filmmaking on the side, and I help some other filmmakers around the city as well when I can help like produce or write and overlook some scripts, but so far not paying the way filmmaking.
so now will you be staying with
Yeah, my
family when you're
parents
here
still
in
stay
Vero?
there, so I'll be there for a week actually. So I'll be hopefully I can attend all
Oh, wow.
the
We
festivities.
look forward to sharing your film in our Vero Vision segment, and it's a block of films of all local filmmakers. And thank you so much for joining us, Darshan. Now,
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.